The Guardians last night, they moved to a season-high 21 games over 500 with a 5-3 victory over the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
Guardians have dominated the Reds in the cross-state rivalry. Royals lost the Yankees. I know we don't like to root for the Yankees, but the Yankees have been helping the Guardians out lately. They swept the Twins in a 3-game series. Now they've beaten Kansas City 2 in a row, and they play again tonight. So the Royals are 5.5 back. Remember, they had cut it down, I think, to 2 or 2.5.
I think it was 2.5.
And now it's 5.5. Minnesota also loses, by the way, in that game. Our old buddy Cal Quantrill, 6 shutout innings. He's got a 3.30 ERA pitching for the Rockies. Wow. I can't remember who the Guardians got in that deal. And I thought it was a nothing burger, as Anthony would say at the time. But that was actually been a great trade for Colorado. 3.30 ERA on the season. His ERA is under 3 in his last 41 innings. That's got to be a guy on the Guardians' radar to get back because he has done a nice job eating innings. As I said, 6 shutout innings yesterday against a decent Minnesota team. He's pitched well. But the bottom line is both those teams lost. The Guardians win again. And 21 games over 500.
Incredible.
4th best record in baseball. 5.5 game lead in the division. After they dropped 2 in a row, they've now won 3 in a row.
It's now starting. It's time to start talking about these dudes in 100+ victories.
Oh yeah,
Like
legit.
they like want to listen. They might
Yeah.
be deep in the hundreds, right? Because they're 21 games over 500. Once again, timely hitting. It just seems like it's weird. It's weird. It looks like they get exactly what they need. Like when you want to write them off, you be like, the pitching ain't good enough. You get guys like Lively. They had a little couple errors on the base paths, so errors, throwing errors, and then you get guys, like Freeman that just want to go full King Griffey Jr. He just, and then Naylor, he was struggling. He was like, man, Naylor's been, and then all of a sudden Naylor's hitting the ball. He had he
That's
smoked
a monster
that.
shot.
He smoked that.
Yeah.
He hit that so hard. I think a fan got hit in the face on this one. Look at
that was a big run too. Yeah, he got smoked. The guy fell backwards.
Yeah. He almost.
They needed
that was a big run because it was 3-2 at the time.
Yeah.
Increased the lead.
And kudos to us real quick because we jinxed Josh Naylor
a
1.5 months ago when we said as he surpassed Jose as the best hitter in this lineup, then he goes on this massive slump. Yesterday we talked about, should we be concerned about the slump? Bull, you correctly said he's about to break out. He comes up with a 2 RBI game, the home run, the single. I mean, he played great. I know he had the error at first base, but from an offensive standpoint,
that wasn't a terrible
he was terrific.
error. But, he had 3 hits. He had 3 ribbies. He has 20 RBIs in his last 31 games, even though he's hitting $150 at that time, which is insane. I mean, that's a pace of over 100 ribbies for a guy batting $150. I said yesterday I thought he's about to get hot. Part of the reason was his exit velocity for the past week has been really high. And for those who don't know, that's the miles per hour of the ball going off his bat. That is when a guy's got a high exit velocity,
means
he's hitting the ball well. And if he's batting $150 and hitting the ball well, it means he's been unlucky.
Speaking of who hitting the ball well, we might as well rename this guy, man. Hey, Ichiro Kwan is out here. He's a monster.
Tony Gwynn,
this
Wade
dude,
Boggs,
Ichiro Kwan, is this guy's out here getting 2-3. He came off the DL and came back.
This is an incredible stat.
Yeah.
Steve, take this full real quick. This is an incredible stat. Bull, if you want to read it, because I don't have my glasses on. But
Steven Kwan this year, he's only got 7 0-hit games. He has more 2 and 3 hit games. Obviously 1, but more 2 and 3 hit games than 0-hit games. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the only player in baseball with that stat.
So he's hitting 380 this season.
Yeah, now he doesn't qualify for the batting title yet.
I know,
because he
but he's hitting
month, but he'll get there if he stays healthy.
No player in baseball. So Kwan 380.
Yeah.
No player in baseball with 150 at bats is hitting 330.
Probably the next highest is Luis Ariz.
At 327.
Yeah.
He is literally 53 points in batting average, better than anyone else in baseball.
His OPS is over 1,000.
No, it's just shy.
Sorry. I meant to say just shy of 1,000. To have an OPS of almost 1,000 when you don't hit home runs. I mean, he's got like 3 homers or 4.
3 or 4, yeah.
How old is he?
It's crazy. He's 25 maybe.
I want to throw this out there.
Jason told us, we don't have to do it again. Jason talked about the fact that they missed their chance to
they
sign him long term. We don't have to get mad again.
This dude, I don't know if he can get 3,000 hits. That's a lot of hits.
It's going to be really tough.
I mean, he might get 2,500.
I mean, if he stays healthy for a long time, yeah, I mean,
because he could play. Like, think about it. His game is like he's not a big dude. His body doesn't look like it's gonna break down. He's getting 3-4 hits a game. To me, this is a dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's gonna be a fan favorite.
Oh, he is. I mean, first of all, he's an extremely likable person. He could show up at the gym and you wouldn't maybe even notice him because he looks like a regular person.
I've seen him in public multiple times, and most people have no idea.
Of course, because he's not big.
Man. No, he looks like me.
Baseball players, unless you're Aaron Judge or a couple of guys, you can blend in as a baseball player. And Stephen Kwan looks like kind of like a kid.
I hate doing this.
Yeah.
When is he under contract to?
I don't.
I think he's got probably 4 more years.
Okay, good job. Good job.
At least 3. I can't remember now.
If it's 4, I feel good about that.
Yeah.
If it's 4, I feel good about that.
No players hit 400 in forever, not in our lifetime. He probably won't hit 400. I mean, hitting 400 is just insane. But the fact that he's hitting 380 is crazy.
That's stupid.
Not a lot of guys have even been hitting 380 this late in the season. It's not that. Now there have been.
Luis Ariz did last year.
George Brett I think did it. I think Tony Gwynn finished the season hitting 390.
390.
Rod Carew probably.
There was something about Kwan's first. There was a second at bat yesterday.
When he hit down third base line.
Yeah, second at bat.
Well, can we show that one because I wanted to bring that up too.
Yeah. Well, let me make the point, and then you can show it again. That was a 10-pitch at bat.
Yeah.
The count was 1-2. It wasn't a full count. See a bunch of ball.
Right.
He fouled off pitch after pitch after pitch after pitch. A 1-2 count on the 10th pitch of the at bat is absurd.
Yeah.
And to see that pitch and the way he not angled the bat, but the way he fights it off to throw it down the left field line, it's an incredible piece of hitting.
Yeah.
And he does it almost on a nightly basis, and I feel like we're almost taking it for granted. But it is such an art that he has mastered. And I mean that in the serious term. He's essentially mastered the art of getting enough of the barrel on the ball. He's not hitting 30 home runs a season. We know that.
Right, but
he has more power. And the last night, and the play we're going to pull up in one sec, is the perfect example of even when he's backed against the wall, 1-2 count, he's seen pitch after pitch, he's seen breaking ball, he's seen fastball, he saw a slider in the at-bat. To get his wrist around, to just get enough of the barrel to send that down the third baseline, incredible.
And it was more than that because can we show that play? Can we do it full or no?
Yeah, we'll take it full here.
So I can see it a bit better. So what is so impressive, everything you said is correct, Mike. What's so impressive to me about what Kwan does here is look, he waits. It's so hard to wait as long as he does to put the bat on the ball. It's hard to notice because it's so slight, but he waits. He lets the ball get into him, and he hits it with authority. Look one more time. Look how close the third baseman is to the bag. He's not playing way off the bag. You got to hit this. He didn't hit a soft ground ball. He smoked this ground ball. He had to. Watch. Look how close the third baseman is when you see it quickly. He's right there.
The exit velo was like 99.5 or something like that.
To hit it for a lefty, to hit the ball down the third base line with authority on a 2-strike pitch.
And it's letter high.
And it's letter high. Good call. That's almost impossible. There's very few players that could do what he did. You have to be confident to let the ball get into you more. And we're talking about a fraction of an inch.
The swing that inside out. He got to get his hands in the hitting zone. Like he gets his hands and some people go up there and they just trying to hit the ball hard somewhere. Mm-hmm. He goes up there with a plan. Let me see what the third baseman do. I'm gonna slap it by him. Like to be able to go inside out on pitches, to be able to pull when you want, to hit soft line. Like you know, Bull. Like you start to get to a point. Like I kind of compare it to like hitting infield. Like once you practice baseball and when you're doing practicing and you're hitting fly balls, you get pretty good at hitting where you want to hit, right?
Yeah.
But for him to be able to do that, just
in the game,
the game is ridiculous, man. That's just crazy.
I have a whole myriad of Stephen Kwan topics. If he has another good game tonight, we're going to break out a couple of them tomorrow, Bull.
Yeah.
But 380 is absurd. And to your point about knowing where the ball is going to go, on the flip side, from a defensive standpoint, it's hard to believe Tyler Freeman's been playing center field for
that's crazy.
4 months now.
By the way, one last thing before we move on to Freeman. Stephen Kwan could get, in theory, a hit every game the rest of the year, and his batting average, in theory, could go down.
Yes.
If he went 1 for 3 or
Like
1 for 4
1
every
for
game.
4.
the rest of the
Yeah.
year. Certainly 1 for 4. Even if he went 1 for 3, his batting average
Would still go down.
because he's hitting 380.
And he would still lead Major League Baseball in average if he went 1 for 3 the entire season.
Yeah, that's right.
how good he's been.
I think he's not too far behind in terms of plate appearances to qualify.
No, he's like 23. He'll be
So
there.
he'll get there in the next, because he'll average probably 4.5 plate appearances.
So you're going to have a guy that's leading the league in RBIs, leading the league in batting average.
Yep.
That's kind of wild.
Leading the league in saves.
Leading the league in saves.
And we'll get to Clase in a minute. But Tyler Freeman, who has been okay as a hitter, he's been clutch at times.
Better
the
than
overall
Straw.
numbers, his OPS is below average. It's not terribly below average. 689 is not hideous, but it's not great. 6 home runs, 27 ribbies. Like, those are,
Decent.
okay numbers. The batting average is low, but all right, I can live with that. But defensively, he's been outstanding. And as you said, this guy had been an infielder. He'd been a second baseman. He made 2 back-to-back magnificent plays in center field. And he saved that, who knows how the game would have went.
No, he saved the game. I feel confident
But
saying that.
Triston McKenzie, who's been pretty bad lately, and McKenzie's given up a ton of home runs. Was that the first one? It's hard to tell.
That's the first one.
So the first one, I
First
don't
was
think would have
better
been a
than the
home run.
second.
I thought
I
that
think it
was
would have
a
been a double, right? It would have hit the top of the wall. The second one would absolutely, the next
yeah.
batter.
This
This one's gone if he doesn't catch it.
I still think the first catch was a more impressive catch, though.
Yeah, he had more time to set.
The other one was
the
on
first
the
catch
run.
was harder, but probably hits the top of the wall.
Yes.
The second
Yes.
catch was easier. I mean, it wasn't easy,
Yes.
but he robbed that from being a home run. But he had time to get there, set, and jump. He is so confident. For outfielders, man, when you play the infield your whole career, and you have to adjust to the outfield, catching the ball at the wall and having the sense of where the wall is so you don't crash into it is one of the hardest things to do for guys transitioning to the outfield. And you would never know he was an infielder if you just started watching Guardians for the first time ever this year and you didn't know anything about Tyler Freeman, and I said to you, this guy was an infielder in the minors. You would never have believed it.
And I think the biggest tell of that, and Steve, take it again and put it full. He doesn't take a false step. Like, as soon as he hears the crack in the bat, especially on the first one, you can see it because there's no time to set up. This is the final catch. When it replays again, you'll see it from the get-go.
Yeah.
But he is, as soon as the ball is hit, tracking it down in a way that you see Amari Cooper do on a deep ball or any of the great receivers. This one, he had a little more time to set up, but there's not a single false step. This one, with a little more time, he feels at the wall, makes the jumping catch. But the first one, on the move, to time it up like that, whether it's a home run, a double, whatever, it's a hard hit ball that's going to spell trouble for the Guardians. To be able to make that play in motion, he covers 70, 80 feet here. Seriously, guys, like that, Great American Ballpark is no small ballpark. Just an incredible play. And I can't believe he's only been doing it for a couple months.
If you want to talk about, like, feats, so I played 3 sports in high school. And yeah, it's kind of hard, shooting. Like, if you ain't been shooting 3-pointers, or it's kind of hard if you got to tackle somebody. But when you talk about baseball, like, the fact that you got to get a jump on the ball from the sound of the bat and you don't know where it's at, especially balls in the gap, especially so much field to cover when you're in center field, it's crazy. And if you want to talk about one of the most underrated, hardest skills. Like, I would say, returning a serve that's 100 miles an hour. Like, that's crazy. But, like, if you put average people in the outfield and hit them fly balls.
That's incredible.
Like, I don't think average people catch fly balls at all.
I don't think average people realize how hard that is.
Yeah.
Like,
just judging where the ball, and these guys do it routinely. But the 2 hardest things for an outfielder, and center field is the hardest, because you're involved in every play to some degree in the outfield, right? Not to mention backing up the middle infielders. But the 2 hardest things are, 1, the wall, which we talked about, but 2 is getting that jump. And if you get a false jump, let's say Tyler Freeman on that first play takes a step in for a second, he's not getting there.
Yeah.
You make 1 false step, and you're done.
That's my point. And especially if it's hit like a line drive. Like, if it's a pop-up, you have to there's no time on a play like that where it's, the launch angle is not 30 degrees and it's hit with exit velo like that. The spin on the ball, too. And you're playing to win. I played baseball in high school. Wasn't anything special by any means, but, I played center field. I tried playing softball now, and even just trying to get the step back of, I could track that anything in high school. Now it's like it's ring around the rosy. I have no idea where it's going. And I eventually get to it because I'm fast, but, it's night and day compared to what it was. And for this guy to go through the entire minor league system, I'm guessing the majority of his baseball career as an infielder, and yeah, I'm sure he takes outfield reps every once in a while, but to be able to make that transition so seamlessly talks to his defensive talent, not just as a infield, but as his overall baseball player.
And it shows you that people work on their game. Like,
no doubt.
Like these guys, like, you know, one of the things that, you know, when we threw out the first pitch, one of the things that I thought was cool was when you go down and you see, like, and you watch them take infield practice, they have, like, coaches. They got third base coaches and shortstop. So those guys are down there coaching them as they're taking ground balls.
No doubt.
So these dudes is putting in a lot of work in the offseason to be able to say, all right, let me be able to, you know, catch ground balls that's hitting in the hole, or can I be able to judge a fly ball that's on a rope in the outfield. So they put work in a lot of different places.
They make it look easy, but we know it's not.
It's extremely hard.
You know, I think the problem a lot, and with the Little League kids, this is one of the things I always got to teach right away, is kids, they run after a fly ball with their glove in the air, which you're not supposed to do. I always tell them, run to the ball, and then get your glove up. Because if you run with you're like bouncing around.
Or you get infielders who usually want to put their glove like this.
Right.
It's a whole 3 years where you teach them, no, you're going to get hit in the face. You might put the glove right here.
Yeah.
And then you think about it, too. Like, if you're right-handed, you're catching the baseball with your left hand.
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, people can't hit left-hand layups, let alone grab a ball in an outfield.
It's a good point. You don't really think about you don't really think of it from that perspective. You think of you're a lefty and you throw it, so you got to throw it your left, so you got to catch with the other hand. Yeah.
Well,
So,
on the flip side, if you're like I'm a lefty who hit righty, and it was always backwards. I got laughed at in T-ball because I was hitting on the wrong side of the plate, and everyone was like, "Ha loser."
I'm that way too.
Yeah.
I feel lefty, bat righty.
In theory, you know, you're pulling with your front hand when you hit.
Yeah.
As a lefty, my left hand was, you know, my stronger arm. It actually makes sense from that standpoint.
But it was unusual. Ricky Henderson did that.
Yeah.
My dad used to switch hit.
That's
really?
such a crazy.
And
I can't wait for Jason's story on that.
I just couldn't. I didn't. Like, he would be like, "Yeah, this is how you do it," and I'm like, "How is you doing that?" Like, no, like
I feel like in that generation there were a lot more switch hitters than there are now.
It's a dying breed. Jason's writing a story on it. He's talked about it.
There's not as
times.
many. Yeah. It has changed.
Yeah, they.
One other thing from last night's game, and then we're going to talk potential All-Stars for the Guardians. Emmanuel Clase had an interesting ninth inning, gives up a base hit to start the inning. There was fielder's indifference to let the runner get to second. And then he gave up a blue pit that scored a run. Then he hit, what's his name? The guy's last name is Dunn. They just called him up. I can't think of his first name. I want to say Adam Dunn, but it's not Adam Dunn.
It's not Adam Dunn, and he got
Blake Dunn.
Blake
Dunn, right. He got smoked like with a 100-mile fastball in the head. He stayed in the game.
Shout out to them baseball helmets. NFL need to figure them out, because that was 101.
Ooh, I like jumped watching it. I was like, oh my God.
I was nervous. I saw it this morning. I was like, hope he's all right, and thank God he is.
Do you guys want me to show it? I do have it.
Show it. Go ahead. For those who didn't see it.
I thought he was out of here.
Yeah.
He's fine, so we feel comfortable showing it. But yeah, that's.
You know what's so funny? He threw that so fast. He didn't even have no time to get to move.
No, it's like
he looked out at Clase. You see that? Looks like a big dude, this guy.
Oh, he definitely looks like he, I
don't think he wants that smoke. Obviously, Clase didn't hit him on purpose. First of all, you never want to hit anybody in the head. Why would he hit him? Period. You didn't want to put a runner on.
I just think it's one of them things like if you get hit, even on accident, you got one of those.
It's natural reaction.
I get it. I think we'd all be that. Yeah. But look at this. I mean.
Ooh. If you've watched Clase lately too, when the batter's on the other side of the box, a lot of his fastballs go up high right.
Yeah.
Right where that guy's head is. And I don't know if he's losing control of it.
I mean, when you're throwing the ball that doggone fat, dang.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get away from you.
He lost command on that pitch. No doubt. But man, if he had not had that helmet on, or if that got under the helmet somehow.
He could kill somebody.
Like that.